The moment that cage opens, freedom unlocked.
Easy, big guy.
Bear bolted like it just won the lottery. First taste of freedom, and he's like, I'm back, baby, smash included.
Easy, big guy. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Wait. Let him go, let him go.
Freedom hit that grizzly like caffeine, gone in 0.2 seconds.
Whoa, bear's out, heads up.
The zookeeper's just hanging on for dear life. Those were only some of these moments animals were freed for the first time. Why would someone let an elephant be released at a gas station?
Stop him. Too late, get cleared. Look out, he's heading for the
Back up,
bumps.
move.
Same thing with a buffalo as well.
Oh, he's moving. Oh. He's heading for the station. There, he's in the store. He's in the store. Someone call animal control right now.
A cheetah too sprints back into freedom, reclaiming its natural speed. Even an aggressive snow leopard, strong and wild, is guided back to its mountains. And another big cat finds its way into the jungle where it belongs. But in other cases, freedom comes in waves, like the release of 10,000 pigeons at once. Then a tiger is released, disappearing into the forest with power. And tiny lives matter too, like baby gazelles being released to grow in the wild. Freedom comes in numbers too, as tens of thousands of pigeons rise together. Leopards continue their return, moving out from cages into forests. In a lighter moment, a sea lion wanders through a market after being freed from its cage. A tiger, once abandoned, now takes cautious but free steps onto the grass. Happy cows skip their way out to grass for the very first time. Well, in a canopy, a massive orangutan is returned to climbing trees once more. A green sea turtle also finds freedom, swimming with fresh strength. A deer is set loose once more, fading into the trees. And once more, horses rush out together, their hooves pounding in unison. And even young deer, after care, are sent safely back to the woods. From the skies, a red-tailed hawk spread its wings into freedom once more. A grizzly bear too is released, returning to its natural range. Then a chimp named Vanilla lifts her head, seeing the sky after a lifetime in a cage. More life touches the ocean as sea lion pups are released together. But it's not only reptiles of size, rescued snakes too are freed from bags into the wild. And bears again, this time walking peacefully back into the forest. Along riversides, a mallard mother and her chicks waddle safely into the water. Doves also rise together in a massive and graceful release. Watch as the canopy cockatoos take flight high in the trees after their release. And a leopard too steps into the wild from confinement. Above all, a vulture spreads its wings as it's released. Birds too feel change as rescued hens step into snow for the first time. Primates too, as chimpanzees are finally returned to the forest. A rescued bear feels water again, playing after being freed from a bile farm. Parrots too take flight, released together in a group. From farms to freedom, hens step out after being rescued from living in cages. And it's not just hens, as one man buys every bird in a market just to set them free. Even tiny wings matter, like a ruby-throated hummingbird finding open skies again. From small to mighty, a bald eagle spreads its wings after recovery. Bright feathers return to the sky as parrots are set free in the wild. And not just one, but 3 eagles soar together in freedom. Then a woodpecker beats its wings, darting back into the forest. More small birds of many kinds are released, filling the air with sound. An indigo bunting, once injured, now flies free again. Freedom doesn't stop there. Even a rare Siberian tiger finds release. Another eagle takes its turn, a female soaring proudly back to the skies. Not just raptors, even a coot is gently released to water. Pigeons too are freed, wings rushing upward. And more pigeons follow, released in flock. A woodcock once more takes to the trees, while a duck, wasting no time, bolts straight for the water. Then 2 more woodcocks are set free together. And another hummingbird, tiny but full of life, is released. And penguin chicks show playfulness, chasing light reflections. But in brighter scenes, African wild dogs are returned to the wild, running together once again. Not just big cats, but even smaller ones like a cat snake are carefully released to the wild. While closer to water, a rescued turtle is returned to its river home. Out at sea, dolphins are released back into open waters after rescue. Another dolphin-like creature stranded on a beach is guided safely back to the ocean. Even reptiles like a monitor lizard are carried back into nature. And with wings again, a bird is set free to fly. The moment they open the boxes and the owls take off, pure freedom, that's nature at its finest. Then 2 sparrows, small but full of energy, fly off together. A red-tailed hawk, once held by its owner, takes flight once more. Freedom comes in all sizes, even a giant rat is released to scurry away. Back at sea, a turtle is returned to the ocean waves. Another giant turtle, trapped in sand, is freed to continue its journey. Among trees, a monkey explores branches after life in a cage. Gentle moments follow, like a white-tailed deer returning to the forest. Another deer too, bound into freedom. While a group of white-tailed deer are releasing together, running as one. Not just deer, an opossum mother rescued with her babies is returned to nature. In touching scenes, a fawn is reunited with its mother after being freed. Even the smallest lives, like a mouse trapped by glue, are carefully released. 2 porcupines shuffle off together into the wild.
He was actually trapped in a parking lot, so...
The story repeats with a big cat pacing into the wilderness. When these cheetahs are released, they walk slowly, almost as if they are scared to come back to reality. Then 2 more cheetahs are released side by side, racing into freedom. Smuggled cheetahs too are finally returned, saved from exploitation. And another cheetah follows, sent back into the jungle after being rescued by thoughtful people. Back to the gentle side, a mother pig and her little ones touch grass for the first time. Elephants again show the meaning of release, one collapsing with relief after decades in captivity. And more hens are freed, finally scratching at grass instead of cages. Burros also take their moment, running across open fields. Even a blind circus elephant feels rescued. It steps slow but filled with freedom. And not just farm animals, one rescued dog steps into open grass after escaping a meat market. Turkeys too feel freedom, stretching and pecking in the open. Morty the pig also discovers grass beneath his feet for the first time. Bears are no exception, as several from rescue take their first steps on a soft ground. Then lambs, full of energy, bounce across fields at release. And far from land, a rescued sea turtle is guided back safely into the ocean. Even a crocodile finds its way after being rescued. More sea turtles follow, swimming strongly as they're released. On the shore, a fisherman spares a bonnethead shark, sending it safely back to sea. And even a penguin rescued and cared for takes a steady walk on land. A crocodile, once trapped, is carried back to its river home. While at the coast, an adorable rescued sea lion begs for attention. Another crocodile slides into the river, reclaiming its wild space. More crocodiles follow, slipping into rivers where they belong. Even small creatures matter, like the northern leopard frog. Larger animals carry their own story, as an elephant is finally unchained and set free. While smaller ones continue too, with a pet frog hopping back into the wild. Leopard frogs raised in captivity are also returned to their rightful home. Then a flock of birds bursts out of cages, wings opening to the sky. In even bigger numbers, over 600 white-winged parakeets are released to the open air. And a single bird's freedom carries just as much weight as it leaves its cage behind. The moment is powerful too when former research chimps step into the forest for the very first time. From primates to plains, zebras also find their release. One after another, more zebras are freed to run. 4 more sea lions follow, finally returning home. Another group leaps straight into the waves after rehabilitation. 2 more sea lions are released, swimming freely side by side. And one release shows tenderness as the animals pause with the rescuers before heading out. Scallop, a rescued California sea lion, makes his way into open waters. Not just sea lions, but rehabilitated seals too are returned to the wild. On land, a giraffe takes careful steps into open ground. Another giraffe follows, raising its head high as it walks into freedom. Even penguins find release as a small chick is guided into nature. And in the waves again, dolphins are carried and set free to swim away. Closer to shore, an orphaned otter slips back into the water where it belonged. Then, from the skies, a bald eagle is released, wings spreading wide. Another raptor follows, a golden eagle soaring into the open air. Back on the ground, a raccoon is released carefully from a rescue. Another is freed from a live trap, quickly darting away. And one more raccoon gets the same chance, safely returning to its home.
The little critter gets to run away free.
Then comes the rare sight of a giant panda walking into the forest again. Another pair of pandas is released, moving calmly through the trees. From forests to ice, even a polar bear takes its steps back into the wild. And not alone, 2 more grizzlies are freed together. And once again, a bear is returned, heavy steps leading it to freedom. In a smaller form, endangered black-footed ferrets are released into the wild in group. From predators to grazers, wild horses also charge into open space. The story continues with chimpanzees carefully guided into their own home. And most moving of all, chimps who spent decades in experiments finally walk under the open sky. A rescued dog clings tightly to the leg of the man who saved him. And from land to sea, baby turtles are guided safely into the ocean. And it's not only turtles. On fur farms, even Stable is given a second chance at freedom. Horses too find release, stepping away from years of service. And dogs, once trapped in labs, finally walk free. Another moment of release comes as 2 horses are guided back into the wild. Even cows taste freedom, stepping on a grass for the very first time. 2 sister cheetahs are finally freed into the wild. And it's not only cheetahs, a rescued lion also takes its first steps into freedom. Right after, even a gray fox is carefully released back into nature. And more cheetahs join them. 2 females taken from captivity finally run free. Then comes a rhino, heavy steps leading back into the wild. Even small lives matter, like a woolly opossum set free again. And on the larger side, a hippo makes its way back to open land. Cheetahs again show the power of freedom, this time from the hands of caretakers. And just like before, orphaned gray foxes are given their chances too. Wolves also taste release, with a big one running free into the wild. And not to be left behind, even a rescued leopard is released back into its world. Freedom isn't only for predators. A pig and her 6 piglets explore open space. Rabbits too get their turn, rescued from labs and taken to safety. And in the wild again, rescued cobras are carefully set free. The same joy is seen as elephants rush to welcome a rescued baby. Foxes return once more, 2 greys released together this time. And a massive timber wolf runs proudly into open ground. And smaller companions too, like a cat, finally find their freedom. Beavers are no exception, swimming back to their natural homes. More hooves join in as former racehorses are released together. Beavers again return, released to live freely in their rivers. From rivers to skies, a rescued eagle spreads its wings in freedom. And another bird follows as a kestrel is released back into the air. Wildcats too, with 2 bobcats sprinting away at release. And wolves return too, like this Mexican wolf carefully guided into the wild. Smaller rescues matter just as much, like Squeak the possum reunited with her mum. And high above, a condor soars again after being set free. A snow goose also spreads its wings and takes flight. Birds too, like a parrot, set free to soar again. And from the cold, a penguin waddles into freedom. Bright colors return too, as a green monk parakeet is released. And even the familiar robin is returned, its red chest flashing as it flies free. Another squirrel is released, scampering into the trees. Not just small animals, even lions are released by the humans who raised them. Another bear finds its way back into the wild. High above, a red-tailed hawk reclaims the skies. From land to sea, an African penguin is released into the waves. And another bird, this time from the shore, is carried back to the sea. Ducks are set free, waddling quickly into the water. A gull joins in, gliding freely over open air. A swan steps from its cage, gliding gracefully in open water. Not just little ones, but even powerful cats like this leopard step back into the wild. And it's not only cats, this penguin, once trapped in a zoo, finally walks free. Even the skies are reclaimed as a huge condor spreads its wings again. On gentler ground, a baby deer is guided safely back to nature. Meanwhile, an old and sick lion takes its last chance at freedom away from the zoo. More big cats return, this time another leopard running back into the wild. And a lioness too, feeling grass under her paws for the very first time. And the king of the jungle himself, a tiger, is sent back into the wild. Not all releases are fierce, this deer simply walks back into the wild. And even little birds know freedom when their cages are opened. Water life too finds its way as a North American river otter is released. A simple moment as a little duck is set free into the water. Leopards look so glamorous when released. A parrot flaps into the open sky, cage life left behind. Bear cubs too reclaim their home, running into the trees together. Even a coyote, first rescued from a trap, returns to freedom after care. And sometimes freedom looks like this lion calmly walking down a road with no chains. Birds fill the sky again as cages open wide. Rescue can be dramatic, like this leopard pulled from a 40-foot deep well before being released. But not all animals are calm. This honey badger lashes out at a cameraman right after being freed. Contrast that with peace as ducks are gently released into a river for the first time. Sadly, freedom isn't for everyone. This hippo was disciplined by a guard just as it stepped out of its cage. And in the forests, a rescued bobcat bounds back into the wild. Even the small ones return, like a colorful lizard scurrying off into nature. And with pounding hooves, horses race away as they're released into the wild. Closer to the brush, a baby fox hesitates, then dashes into freedom. While deeper in the jungle, a tiger slips away to reclaim its territory. Not all rescues are fierce, like a gentle myna bird spreading its wings once more. And from there, an imperial eagle soars high after its release. Another eagle too finds its freedom, wings opening wide above land. Then, on open plains, wild horses thunder across northern Colorado.
By eating underbrush.
Even snakes deserve release, like this small one slithering into the jungle. Falcons too reclaim their skies, soaring into open air once again. And rare birds, once rescued, take flight back into nature. Not all with wings, some with scales get released. But the tiniest sparrow too gets its chance to fly. And in the night, an injured owl spreads its wings again. Horses again take their freedom, galloping far from fences. While high above, 12 rescued herons are returned to the wild together. Then along the shore, an African penguin waddles back to the sea.
It's important for the population.
Eagles too return, released after 5 long years in rescue. Freedom slithers as well, like a viper snake darting back into the wild. In horses again, rare and wild, are released into open land.
And Mongolia in
Another snake too, carefully handled, disappears into its jungle home. Once more, herds of wild horses run free, manes following in the wind. And even seabirds find freedom, like a rescued gull taking flight. Then, in a remarkable scene, 28 Przewalski horses are released together. Horses keep returning, pounding across open plains in unity. But it's not only hooves, this howler monkey swings back into the wild. Another monkey too, climbing branches again where it belongs. And on the forest floor, a hedgehog scurries into freedom. In rarer scenes, 7 jungle cats are released at once. By the water, a rescued loon is carried and set free. And more cats too, slipping quietly into the wild. Not just predators, tiny blackbirds are rescued and released as well. And in great numbers, Przewalski horses thunder into the wild once again. But some resist, like a squirrel so happy with food it refuses release. Others embrace it, like herds of wild horses rushing into open space. More follow, manes tossing, as horses are guided back into the wild. A gray fox is carefully carried to the edge of the forest before it darts off into freedom. A harbor seal slides across the sand and dives beneath the surface, finally free again. But back in the forest, a lynx leaps forward into the undergrowth, its paws silent as it disappears. Even dolphins, once confined in zoos, break into the ocean's vast embrace. And from dolphins to giants, a massive leatherback turtle drags its heavy body across the sand before catching the tide. On land again, a gray wolf shakes itself loose from a humane trap, padding back into the wild. And while wolves roam the land, a small bird flutters skyward, free from the hands that held it. The forests echo once more with calls of freedom as foxes streak across the grass, vanishing into the wild.
A good day for them.
And matching their return, another wolf limps but determinedly walks free from a steel trap, its gaze fixed on the horizon. After months of healing, a rescued dolphin finally tastes freedom again, leaping into the sea after 11 months of care. And not far from home, another giant makes its return as a sea turtle crawls across the sand and disappears into the wave. While seals, with their flippers slapping and bellies sliding, rush back into the cold sea together. More seals are gracefully released into the water. And high above, a flying fox spreads its wings, soaring into the twilight sky.
Here he goes.
From bats to birds of prey, a vulture takes to the air once more, its vast wings catching the thermals. Meanwhile, the ocean welcomes another return as a dolphin is gently carried into deeper waters, its fin cutting the surface as it swims free. Some rescues are bittersweet, like this bear freed after years in a cage, still pacing in circles as if captivity never left her. I found clips of animals who saved humans' lives. Click the video on the screen to watch.